Hello YouTube, it's me Jennifer. So I wanted to make this quick video about passing. So as you may know, I am transsexual or transgender or whatever the fuck, and I don't really think I pass. Like, I'll be honest, I don't really wear too much makeup either, so that doesn't help. But I feel like I don't pass. I don't know. I feel like I judge myself pretty rationally, but also, I don't know, it definitely a little hard. But I went to the clinic to get laser hair removal because, I have a full fucking face of hair. And the lady didn't know I was trans. And, like, as we were talking about it, she realized I was trans because we were talking about, like, testosterone bringing back hair. And I was like, well, that's not a problem right now because I got tons of estrogen. I got more than I need. And she was like, what the fuck? I thought you were just a woman. And I was like, that's incredible because I didn't think that. I thought she knew. I think that when I walk into a room or when I walk into like a work, thing or anything with family, I assume that everybody around me just knows I'm trans, and that's the world I live in. And that people see me in public and they just know I'm trans. And for this lady that sees trans patients all the time to not know I was trans, I was like, holy crap. All the fucking years and effort and hormones and everything, is paying off. And I haven't even had any surgeries yet, so I still want to get some of that. That's for a whole different thing. But passing, holy fuck. I don't actually know 100%. People have told me on here, and I went to some bars with somebody's looking at me. I went to some bars with some friends, and my friend's mom was there too, and she's a really cool lady. And she was telling me that I just passed, like not to think about that. And I was like, what the fuck? And my friends have been telling me that too, and like at work, almost no one ever talks about it. I don't talk about it either, so if we don't talk about it, no one knows, and I love it. Even if they know, like, or even if they're curious, I would rather they just ask me, but no one asks. And I live my life one day at a time as just another girl out here. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to share that. And also, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? Like, when you start my YouTube, like, if you start watching my YouTube videos, the first one from like 5 years ago, terrible. Like, even right now, like, honestly, I'm not gonna like think about it. This YouTube video it's gonna be, a Da Vinci one day. But I don't feel like I passed in those videos, and I look back and I feel like I still look kind of similar. And it makes me start thinking like, wow, I can start to leave being trans behind more. Like, I would love to be more involved and have more trans friends. I just tend to not agree with everybody on everything, and I'd rather not even go there with people who value their own opinions a lot. Like I want someone to trash all of my opinions, and I want to, be able to trash on anyone else's opinions. It's just, I want to say trash, I mean like talk about, dissect, be like, yeah, I can totally see why I'm wrong. I'll still keep doing it, but I can see why I'm wrong, on something. Or like, someone can tell me something, I'm like, wow, posture. Like, I was watching a video about posture, and it turns out having a bad posture is, you letting gravity just squish you down or something like that. It made me think, you know what, let's fight gravity back. I'm gonna start getting a better posture. It's hard, but it changed my mind, and I want to be able to just talk about stuff and just change my mind. And maybe I might be like, hey, you make a very valid point, and I still won't change my opinion. That I'm very okay with that, and I want to have more of that. And in the trans community right now, there's not a lot of freedom of opinion. It's more of a doctrine, and I don't do doctrine. I quit the Catholic Church because of that, so I don't need more of that in my life. But speaking of the LGBT stuff, this is actually how I made this video a little bit, but also, what the fuck, I passed, apparently. Does passing matter? Absolutely it does. Like, if it's not the most important thing in the world. It's very important, but it's not the most important thing. the most important thing is be yourself. Honestly, I've been happy since I started transitioning. I think the way I see it, some people can say you start transitioning when you socially did it, when you legally did it, when you had your surgery, when you started hormones. For me, the day I started transitioning was, I forgot, like February 15 or 16, when in 2014, when I looked in the mirror and I just said, hey, you know what? I'm transgender. Like, fuck. It is what it is. That moment right there, I started transitioning. Because minutes later, I was like, all right. Whew. Once you let a cat like that out of the bag, you're not going to just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to not do anything about it. Like, oh, I want to actually start transitioning. And then that's when I went to the gym and fucking, I am right here now. But within that minute when I said, I'm going to start transitioning, or saying I was transgender, but then I started taking steps to transition by going to the gym and then just being myself all the time. Being myself, it was complicated because I couldn't just be myself like I am right now. I was still a different person, I guess, or like a different, like very different version of myself, but I was just being myself. And as I continue to take hormones and express myself and develop, you know, who I am as a woman nowadays, I did it just by freedom of expression, you know, like having the ability to just express myself, like Dr. Dre's song, it's actually NWA, but express yourself, you know. That is what I think transitioning was for me, like as far as the most important aspect of it. But even then, when I first started transitioning, I was like, all right, the goal was for passing, like that's the goal. And it's like, being myself didn't mean the world treated me as myself. And I didn't want the world to treat me as what I told them to treat me as. I was like, I want to be treated as what the world sees, a woman, and that's it. Like when I got called he, when I got called my old name, whatever, previous name, what the fuck you want to say it, when like I started like going to family events and like I was like, wow, this is uncle and like, you know, primo in Spanish. That is like, it's like tiny little daggers, and you know, it hurts, and I can see why people get upset about it, and it hurts a lot. It's demoralizing at times. But that just made me want to pass even more. It's like, well, I'm gonna keep trying and trying, tiny steps at a time. It took me like fucking 8 years to get here. It's been 8.5 right now, and honestly, that was the goal, to pass. So like, I feel like I'm in disbelief right now. It's been like a couple weeks now of a lot of this, of like people telling me I passed and to not think about it and to like stop worrying if my shoulders are too broad or anything like that, like if my boobs are too small, or like if my face looks as masculine or my voice doesn't pass. Like people don't see that anymore, I guess. And like they just see a woman. But it matters to me. Like when I meet a customer for the first time, or when I meet a new coworker and they just see me as a woman, like that's what I wanted. I don't want to have to fucking tell them like, hey, here's how you want me to treat me. No, it just goes right to it. They just use the right pronouns, they use the right name, and life is good. Because I don't have to fucking tell anybody I'm trans. And that is why passing is important. So I think the narrative, whatever that's happening with LGBT people, that passing doesn't matter or is not important, or you know, like you don't have to pass to be trans and all of that. Sure, like they're not wrong. It's just I think they're downplaying it way too much, when yes, expressing yourself is the most important part of it, but passing matters a fuck ton. And someone tells you it doesn't matter, I don't know, like they're not the ones that have to get dealt with. Like when you go to in public and you don't pass, they don't have to deal with how you feel that moment. So passing kind of matters. And you know, it's not going to be as easy for everybody. I started when I was 20, so even till this day, when I started when I was 20, I was like, fuck, I don't want to be fucking 45 and transitioning. So if you're 45, like that's fucking hard, you know. I completely see how hard that can be. And to be told that passing is the most important thing when it's really hard is a hard thing to swallow, like a hard pill to swallow. But just being yourself is the most important part. but then actually being seen as the gender that you're transitioning to is absolutely important. Like, just like telling people how to treat you doesn't actually mean they see you that way. Like, they see you as what you told them you are, a trans person. They see you as a label. They see you as somebody who is a transsexual or transgender person. They see you as that, and I don't want to be in that third category. My goal of transitioning was so I can just switch to the other side and just like call it a good, you know. And it's fucking amazing. Oh my god. But yeah, the little rant there is just because I can't believe life is the way it is right now. Like, I got called a whore the other day, and I was like, man, I didn't get called something worse, you know, like the F word. I don't want to say it because even hearing it, I don't really like it. I didn't get called that. Nobody yelled at me about like not passing or being trans or anything. It's just like, hey, they're misogynist. That's not cool at all, but it's nice to at least fucking be seen as a woman. But yeah. Oh man. I'm all giddy now. So I'm just gonna say goodbye before I rant forever. Yeah, bye.